Today I'm going to be ranking all 4 Batman Arkham games. I will briefly discuss what makes them great and what doesn't in the order of their ranking, i.e. lowest to highest. I will keep it short because if I were to talk about everything in all games, then it would take me about 30 to 40 minutes. And I know people won't watch a long video, from experience of course, even when you put your heart and soul into the video and invested more than a month of your time into that video. And one last thing, I believe this is obvious, but I hope you understand that this is my personal opinion. Of course you can and may have different order of their ranking, which is fine. Although maybe you should go seek professional help for your mental illness if you disagree with my ranking. Arkham Asylum, the granddaddy. The one that started it all. Arkham Asylum was the first Batman game that actually made you feel like that you are Batman. It broke the perception of bad Batman games. Just like Batman Begins, it revolutionized Batman in video game industry. Arkham Asylum does so much of the stuff right from the start. The gameplay was so well made. That's how you make Batman fight. A room full of thugs and you are alone in there to be their worst nightmare. The free flow focus and surprisingly good animations really made the combat sections fun. The choice to keep Batman limited to the island of Arkham Asylum works in their favor. First, technically it's not an open world game, but it feels like it. Second, the environment and atmosphere is so Batman-like. The god-type nature, the darkness, madness, and horror reminds me so much of the classic Batman animated series. The story also serves its purpose. It's a good starting point and its effect can be seen all the way through the series, even in Arkham Knight. Arkham Asylum was a great starting point in the series, even if it is a bit outdated today.
I'll never let you win. Never.
Arkham Origins, the ordinary middle child? Arkham Origins is the middle child of the Arkham franchise. It's there, it exists, but it's not special in any way. Arkham Origins was made to fill the time in between Arkham City and Arkham Knight, and you cannot convince me otherwise. It is pretty much an add-on or a side game to Arkham City, kind of like how Spider-Man Miles Morales is to the main Spider-Man game. Origins is based completely on Arkham City. The map, the gameplay, the graphics, everything is borrowed by Arkham City. The new things that it does bring, like the shock gloves, feel like a mod added to the game as a joke instead of an officially added feature. The one good thing going for the game was its story and its direction away from the cliche Batman and Joker story. I was actually excited to see someone other than Joker as the main villain. In theory, the story of Arkham Origins has the vibe of a very classic and good Batman story. 8 assassins out to get Batman on Christmas Eve, hired by Black Mask. That's such a cool concept. But then they had to go out of their way and shove Joker into the story. Okay, I've been talking crap about this game too much. It's not bad by any standard. The boss fights in Arkham Origins are some of the best we have had in any Arkham game. Batman's detective skills actually being used was a very nice addition. Inclusion of fast travel was very helpful. And the bat suit is just... It's pure perfection. It's one of my favorite bat suits of all time. Plus I like that they made Batman so reckless and so angry. This is clearly a Batman in his early days. He hasn't learned restraint and composure yet. All in all, Arkham Origins would have been a great game if it had come out before Arkham City. It just had unfortunate timing and is overshadowed by its more successful siblings in the family. It had good parts, but they are severely overshadowed by its flaws.
That is why they hired assassins, because I am the reason the criminals breathe easier when the sun rises.
Arkham Knight. The perfect conclusion? Arkham Knight takes everything that worked in the previous games and does parts of that better. There is no doubt that Arkham Knight has the best gameplay out of all the Arkham games. Even more thug types, even more gadgets, even more ways to counter enemies. Not to mention Batman is faster than ever. The inclusion of Fear Takedown was the rightest choice. It is so awesome to take down 5 people in an instant. And the Batmobile, while overused, is still a very cool addition and is fun to play around with. Except Cobra tanks. No more Cobra tanks! The visuals of Arkham Knight are nothing short of breathtaking. They did all this and it still somehow manages to run on my crappy PC. They really went all out on this one. The lighting and texturing artists, the level designers, and the entire design team actually did a really marvelous job creating Gotham. While on the one hand Arkham Knight can be praised for its gameplay and its visuals, the same cannot be said for its story and mission types. The story is just a little better than Arkham Origins, which is not a praise. I expected way more for the finale of a Batman trilogy. Kinda gives me the Dark Knight Rises vibes. I mean, Arkham Knight is in the freaking title and he still never feels like a real threat. It's like they saw what WB Games did with Arkham Origins and Black Mask being the Joker thing and thought, that's brilliant. We also should bait people with one villain and then reveal the main villain was someone else all along. They managed to take that from Arkham Origins and not the brilliant Deathstroke fight. They put Deathstroke in a tank. The guy that is known for his expertise in close quarter combat, and they put him in a tank. I am still salty about it. And don't give me an excuse like, it was the end of the night and Batman was tired so it would not be a fair fight with Deathstroke. If that was the case, then don't have Deathstroke in the game. Just have some random militia commander controlling the last tank. Or the guy that keeps yelling "Drone offline!" Arkham Knight, while flawed, still at least ends the story in somewhat conclusive way, while also leaving the door open for anything that may come in the future. The gameplay and visuals are fantastic, but the story and mission types could have been better, and holds it back from being the best game in the franchise.
I am vengeance.
I am the Knight. I am Batman.
Arkham City, the masterpiece. It's hard to make a good sequel, but making a sequel that improves upon the original in every single way is even harder. Yet that is exactly what Rocksteady did with Arkham City. All the things that Arkham Asylum introduced and started, AC not only does it better, but also adds stuff that we are all used to with Arkham games. Like take the quick use of gadgets during combat, or picking up Riddler trophies with the Batclaw. Arkham City introduced so many of these quality of life improvements that it is hard to imagine an Arkham game without these. The already smooth gameplay was refined even more types of thugs and counter techniques, more missions and a bigger map. It was an improvement all around. The story of Arkham City is the best in the series in my opinion. It was such a fun tale to play through. And this was probably the first time in Arkham games that Batman was pushed to his limit. Sure, he was stuck on an island with all these supervillains, but at least he wasn't poisoned for half the game. The psychological and physical toll that one night in Arkham City took on Batman was immense. The good thing is that Joker being in the game doesn't overshadow any other villains. Every character was used just right. The story of Arkham City is so iconic that I can probably recite the whole story from memory, including a lot of the dialogue, even the way it was said by the actors.
It was all a lie. There's nothing wrong with you.
Nice of you to say, but
You of all people should know there's plenty wrong with me.
Take my blood, for example.
Gosh, Mark Hamill
Wish
is
somebody
so
would.
good.
This stuff is...
That's the impact a good story should have on people experiencing it. Arkham City also includes the best boss fight in the franchise. The Mr. Freeze fight makes players use every trick they have and push the more casual players out of their comfort zone of just gliding behind enemies and taking them down. Especially on New Game Plus, you gotta use almost every takedown on Freeze. The best part is that one takedown cannot be used twice. Freeze is a smart guy. Of course he won't be defeated by one trick over and over again. He has a doctorate after all. Wait, if he has a doctorate, then why is he Mr. Freeze and not Dr. Freeze? The side missions are also pretty fun and adds to the world of Arkham City. The one gripe I have about the game is that it has way too many Riddler trophies. It has over 400 Riddler trophies. That's almost 200 more than enough. That's double the amount of trophies in Arkham Knight. And Arkham Knight has a way bigger map.
Get out of my way!
Honestly, this is why when you punch Riddler, it is so satisfying. So that is why Arkham City is the best Arkham game. You know, aside from the ungodly amount of Riddler trophies, that is.
You're right. I think I chipped a nail back there.
So that is it. My ranking of Batman Arkham games. I obviously did not talk about literally all the things that I liked or disliked, but I think I covered the broad stuff. I'm sorry the video was so late. I took a Diwali break and then there was a CS major, so I couldn't get anything done. But I am back now. I'm planning to do a Q&A video soon, so let me know if you want that. Also, I'm planning a very special 1K subs video. It will be the most spectacular, the most awesome 1K subs video on YouTube. So you should subscribe to be a part of the history.